Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good afternoon. It is afternoon. 12:58 here in Colorado. How is everybody? I had a busy morning, so just getting around to doing my podcast for the day, and wanted to do one on meditation, and I think you're going to like this one. This is going to be a good podcast. The effects of meditation on the body, and we may get into a little bit of brainwave stuff. But I'm going to jump right into it. A lot of this is research, and I'm going to read some of this to you. I haven't got it completely all memorized yet, but so meditation and how it affects the brain. Meditation increases gray matter, cortical thickness, right, leading to neuroplasticity, which is defined as the ability of the brain to positively change structurally and functionally as we age. So what that says is that neuroplasticity increases as we get better at doing our meditation, and we start doing it on a regular basis. Neuroplasticity is what heals the brain. Neuroplasticity can heal the brain of trauma and damage as a result of trauma, strokes. In some cases, neuroplasticity can heal some of the damage from a stroke. And it just goes on to say that as you age, neuroplasticity adjusts and changes the brain structure as we get older. Meditation is the kind of thing that enhances those kinds of qualities. Here's another one that's interesting, the heart. How does meditation affect the heart? And I'm just going to read this one as well. Regular meditation significantly reduces blood pressure and stress on the heart by stimulating the formation of nitric oxide, big stuff, which causes blood vessels to dilate, big stuff, thus increasing blood flow throughout the body. Okay, so part of getting older is the nitric oxide kind of reduces, right? And we need to find different kinds of food, different kinds of diet, different exercises. Might even have to take some different kinds of supplements to increase nitric oxide. We want a lot of nitric oxide in our bodies as we age, right? And the benefit of meditation is that it increases that, which causes blood vessels to dilate. Don't have to go any further with that conversation. So meditation on the heart is incredibly beneficial. Drinking ice water today. This next one is where I'm going. Telomeres. Excuse me. I've got kind of something in my throat going on. So telomeres are the protective caps at the end of chromosomes. Longer telomeres means longer life. Meditators have increased telomeres activity, which translates into longer, stronger telomers. So on the bottom of chromosomes, we have this little thing dangling off the bottom. And through a saliva test, we can take a sample of saliva and we can get the chromosome and we can look at the length of the telomere, right? And it will give you an accurate, we touched on this yesterday, it will give you an accurate chronologic age and biologic age. I mean, it's the most precise measurement of age. And here's what we also talked about yesterday, actually we talked about it probably at length a little bit, was that as we do meditation and we get into that gamma state, right? Okay, that's above beta, all right, 60 and above. We enhance, this is theory now, we enhance the probability of lengthening life. That's the theory. Hasn't been proven. Early research, right? So what we have found out, that is science now, is that as you get into gamma, you know, the higher brainwave kinds of stuff, in meditation, right? And you hook into that energy source, you become better able and equipped to downregulate unhealthy genes and upregulate positive ones. So the telomeres is a really big deal. Here's the part on genes, the effect of meditation on genes. This is what I'm going to read to you guys is just fall over amazing information. And this is not theory, this is science. This is proven. Meditation suppresses over 1,000 stress-related genes linked to conditions such as inflammation, high blood pressure, inflammation, asthma, diabetes, Alzheimer's, chronic pain, and accelerated aging. This is just a paragraph I just read on how meditation affects genes. And remember, what we're doing in meditation is we're trying to get to that state so that we can upregulate the good and downregulate the bad. All right. Immune system and meditation. Meditation bolsters the immune system by stimulating a weaker secretion of adrenaline and cortisol, thus allowing the immune cells to remain more active in warding off illness and infection. Huh. Kind of make you want to meditate all day long, huh? So, I mean, you know, immune system is just phenomenal. Here, I'll do one more and then I'll stop on this. This one's on inflammation and meditation, right? Excuse me. Meditation helps reduce chronic inflammation, which is a precursor to heart disease, arthritis, asthma, and many modern-day diseases of mankind. Inflammation's kind of an interesting one. I mean, the turmeric root directly attacks the inflammation. And if you go and study turmeric root, You'll notice why a lot of people drink that tea. I mean, I drink it almost every day, and that's the reason, is to reduce the inflammation. What do you guys think? Isn't that just amazing stuff? I mean, just amazing, amazing things. I thought there was one other one I wanted to talk about here. There's so many of them. So, the brain waves, right? So when we're in a cognitive state, just out and about every single day, going to work, doing whatever we're doing, as we're doing right now. You guys are listening. I'm talking. We're both processing information. We're in beta, and beta is just cognition. It's the ability to interact and use our neocortex, frontal lobe, right? Which comprises, 40%? 40% of our brain is that. And when we're doing, beta actually, I guess they do. It does go from 14 to 20, 21, somewhere in there. And that's cycles per second, all right, just so that you know what we're talking about. When we start doing meditation, we slip into a more relaxed state, all right, to where we can now have creative thought, okay? And that's this alpha wave, right? Alpha brainwave. And alpha goes from, 7 to about 14 cycles per second. So we're slipping down into or towards the meditation we need to reach our subconscious. Assuming you're in your conscious state, right? And you want to get past your analytical mind, and then you want to get down into your subconscious. So imagine kind of like an iceberg, and beta being the tip that's sticking out. And that's sort of a conscious state, we could say, where we're cognitive and using our neocortex. And then below the water, the first level is going to be the alpha wave, and that's where we're just drifting off into some relaxed state. There are people in industry, sidebar, there are people that are hired in large corporations that get paid to be creative. And there's actually a couple examples on the internet, if you go search it out, where these guys sit in, one example they gave, they're in New York City, Manhattan, actually. And big, tall skyscraper, and a guy that does research in neuroscience was going through and trying to find different kinds of people and their creative styles. And this guy gets paid phenomenal, huge, huge sums of money to sit with the lights off up on, 20, 30, 40, 50 floors up, whatever it is, overlooking Manhattan with his feet on the desk, big leather chair, arms back behind his neck, behind his head. I mean, you all have the picture, right? And if this guy comes up actually this guy did come up with one creative idea that made his company $50 million in a relatively very, very short period of time. So it became beneficial for this company and other companies alike to hire people to put them into the alpha state, relaxed state, where they can start becoming creative and visualizing, right, around what's in the best interest of the company. Boy, I'd like that job. I think we all would like that job. All right, so anyway, the next brainwave below that is theta. And it's obviously much slower. This is just before you're nodding off. So it's like 4 to 7 cycles per second. Real slow, real slow. And this is where you will get not a dream state, but you will get very colorful, creative visualizations, because you're now in the subconscious. Okay? The ideal place to be in meditation is theta, because you've now dropped into your subconscious. So whatever you were working on in alpha, it will now drop into theta, your subconscious, and it can begin to be processed. All right? So theta is very, very important. Think in terms of colorful, crisp, clear visualizations. And then the next brainwave below that is deep sleep, REM, rest and recovery for the body. And your brain waves are from 0 to 4 per second. All right. So you're in deep sleep. You're dreaming now. Make sense? All right. So as we do meditation and get better and better, to get into theta, right, past the analytic part, brain, and into the subconscious to where we can do some work, yes, then we would like to be able to get into gamma. And there's very specific, there's not one, but there's several ways to get into gamma. You have to dig around for the research. There isn't just a lot of common research out there about being in the gamma brainwave. But think in terms of somebody who's in trauma, somebody who is having a seizure, a panic attack. Get the idea? You know, you're 60 cycles per second and up. And in some of the research that we read and hear, it goes 200 to 300 times higher than that, into the thousands. I believe I've even heard that you get up into over 1 million cycles per second. Now, why that happens or what is happening at that particular time, I'm not a neuroscientist. I study neuroscience, and I've spent my last 10 years devoted to it. All right? But I don't have a degree in neuroscience. And I'm not an MD. You know, I have 43 years experience in clinical psychology and 10 years in research in neuroscience. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that qualifies me for. But my interpretation or understanding is that if you can get that much activity going on in your brain in a controlled situation where you are being taught how to enter gamma. Now, you got to be on board with this next part I'm going to say. We're leaving the Newtonian model of life and 3 dimensions, going past the 4th dimension, which is time, and entering into the 5th dimension and the quantum field, quantum mechanics, right? And where you become no person, no place, and no time. The eternal now, right? To where you have tapped into universal energy. Again, you know, you kind of have to understand that everything on the planet and in the universe functions off of energy. Everything is energy, right? So, to get to that level of brainwave activity, you've entered into the energy field of the universe. And that's where you now gain ability to upregulate, downregulate different kinds of things more easily than other methods that may be there. Follow me? Now, the stuff I read you in the beginning about the effects of meditation on the body, and I went through, 4 or 5 different aspects of parts of the body and the benefits of it. If you can get into this energy field of the universe, a gamma state, the specific things that I talked about, and they were astounding research information, enhances the ability of all that to occur. Okay? So, the takeaway is the tool for us to get very proficient at is meditating. Just based on what I just read and conveyed to you. It's research. It's science. It's fact. It's not hocus pocus. It's not made up. It's science. the effects of meditation is overwhelming what can happen. And I haven't even got into very much of what can occur. I mean, we're talking about energy healing that I haven't even talked about. I forget the lady's name. I heard she had passed away last fall, but I don't know if that's true or not. She started doing her research in getting 8 people around one person who was laying down and transferring their positive healing energy to the person laying down that had some illness or sickness or whatever it happens to be, and she started seeing some results, right? Meditation has so many aspects to it. We haven't even begun to talk about walking meditation. We need to go into some of that kind of stuff. We need to talk about other effects that meditation can have for us. So for now, for today, it's kind of a teaser. Go back and listen to this podcast again. It's very informative, very, very informative. I meditate twice a day for 4 hours. 2 hours in the morning around, 4:30, somewhere in there I meditate. And then I meditate as I'm going to sleep for 2 hours before I go to sleep. Those are the 2 best times to meditate, obviously, because the natural cycles happen with your brain waves. Right? So, the takeaway is, I love it, and I just think it's done remarkable wonders for me on the things that I'm working on. And I continue to meditate, and I can't foresee any reason for me to stop meditating anymore. Periodically, I run meditation groups. I mean, I'll do them for individual people, but it works best for groups. I try to stay at 10 or under. I know there's, like Dr. Joe and whatever, they run, 800, 1,000 different people at his workshops, and they do their meditation, and it's highly successful. I couldn't get that many people if I wanted to, but so anyway, I'm currently putting together another group. I hope to get started in the next week or two, couple weeks. I think I picked out the first week of June to be started, and probably just do 5 or 6 sessions around education and training, and actually doing the meditations, because there's several different ones, and all the neuroscience that goes with it, and the benefits and the effects, and it's a lot of stuff to cram into 5 or 6 sessions, but I'm pretty good at doing that. And then what I usually do is just turn them loose, and they have their own group, and they run themselves. And that works great. Most people are pretty happy. I don't charge a huge arm and a leg for it. It's obviously people, local. If anybody's on the eastern slope of Colorado, call me up. I'm just putting together names and getting information when we can get started and where we're going to meet. Excuse me. So anyway, meditate, meditate, meditate. If you have questions, guess what? I do consultation. Oh my gosh. Around meditation, call me up. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have and provide you with some information if you need it. Oh, golly. I guess the uncomfortable part, which we all have to do, but if you got any penny, nickel, dimes, quarters, dollars, fives, tens, put them in my PayPal account if you can afford to help support. I'm self-supporting through you guys and what I do. So every little bit helps, and I would appreciate that if you can do that. jzager@gmail.com. So it's a beautiful Saturday. Well, I guess there's a few little clouds out to the west, but it's beautiful. It's 87 degrees, you guys. I'm inside my truck parked at a parking lot because I was running late, and I have the air conditioner running. What a wimp. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I'll look forward to talking to you all again real soon. See you. Bye.